Tax Summit, because on the 1st of January 2026, a new tax law will go into effect in our great nation. And as a kingdom church, raising kingdom ambassadors, kingdom millionaires and billionaires, we need to position ourselves, because we are not just talking to you about paying tithes in millions and hundreds of millions and billions. We're also talking to you about paying tax in millions. So you give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So we put together what we call question and answers on the new Nigerian tax law, and I have some panel of professionals that have joined in making sure we put this together. I'm just representing them to vote, and then we'll take your questions tonight. Amen. Hallelujah. So question and answers on the new Nigerian tax law, specific focus on individuals and small business. So we put it together in a Q&A format so that we can just deal with different aspects. Question 1 says, when will the new Nigerian Tax Act take effect? So when is it starting? It's starting on the 1st of January 2026. So the new Nigerian Tax Act goes into effect from what? 1st of January 2026. Number 2, which specific individuals does the tax law apply to? Are there people that this law applies to? Are there people that it does not apply to? Well, the answer is simple. It applies to all individuals that earn income in Nigeria. So whether you are workers, content creators, remote workers, influencers, traders. A controversial aspect was brought out when they said even Ron's girl will pay tax. No, and they said that is it 6 billion or 600 billion? One ridiculous money that they said that they calculated how much was made in Lagos alone. I think it's 60 something billion or 600 something billion. Very ridiculous, you know. It's amazing. Somebody's patronizing them. So no matter what you do, as long as you earn money in Nigeria, you're going to pay the tax. And then Nigerians earning income abroad, if they are tax residents in Nigeria. So what this means is this: if you are residents in Nigeria and you make money abroad, so you have properties abroad, you have investments abroad, when your properties or investments abroad, when they bring in money, you will pay the tax of that money in Nigeria. Because see, you are not paying tax in those countries, but because you are residents in Nigeria, you will now pay that tax. So that means as you are entering January, don't try to be secretive, because they are linking NIN, BVN, everything is going to be linked together, and then they are connecting with the international platform with every commercial nerve center all over the world. And there is now information sharing. So it's better for you to by yourself go and say, I have a property in Kenya, I have a property in Swaziland, I have one property in London, this is how much I made. So if you don't have an accountant, this is the time for you to get an accountant, a tax consultant. Don't try to be stingy and say, I'm not paying professional. Pay, so that you will not pay. Number 3, will transfers and deposits into my bank accounts be taxed? You know that there is COT and bank charges and all those stuff, POS charges. So they are now saying, will transfers and deposits into my bank account be taxed? No. Moving money around via POS, transfers, deposit, or withdrawal is not a taxable event. What is taxed is income earned. So that somebody pay into your account now. Say, okay, I paid money, help me send this money to this person. It doesn't mean they are going to come and tax you because the money entered your account. Do you understand? It is not an earning, it's a transaction. So what it means is that you have to now be careful about people say, give me your account, help me transfer this money, and send this money to this person. Because at the end of the day, by the time they look at, there are none of you that are collecting money, you want to boost your account for Visa. By the time they now look at the turnover and the money that has gone through your accounts in the year, they might say they want to come and audit you and confirm whether it is really your money. So those of you that say, me, I'm not an accountant, I don't like mathematics, I don't really like calculation. You have to like calculation now. And this is not the time to be doing cash. This is the time for you to actually have everything done online, use your ATM so that everything will be there, you'll be able to remember. And when you are sending money to someone or collecting money from someone, this is the time to ensure that it is well. So you can now say, okay, loan to this person, or money they say we should share for Papa's burial. You know, those of you that they use your account to collect money, you will now say, okay, everybody, Brother James is getting married. Let us pay into Sister Caro's account. And you are Sister Caro and they are paying money into your account for somebody's birthday. You better have the definition, birthday, so that you will now put it together and you will transfer it. Number 4. Will the money I keep in my bank account be taxed from 2026? It means that if I leave money in my account now, will they now come and say, this person get money, maybe we'll collect something? No. Just having money in your account is not taxable. Only the income you earn, like salary, business profit, or interest, is what can be taxed. So the question then is, how do we know how the money entered your account? How do we know if it is not a salary or a business profit? That's why you must have record. So those of you that don't keep records of income and expenditure and have descriptions of the transactions in your life, you may end up becoming a pawn. Because you know that every time there is a law in Nigeria, there are criminals in government that want to now capitalize on that one to defraud people, to terrorize people, to make life difficult for people. That's why we are telling you all this is now, so that you'll be ready, because many of the government agencies and government parastatals, they don't have any record. Hello? Number 5, I'm a student with no job. Will I pay tax in 2026? No. If you have no taxable income, you will not pay tax. So what is taxable income? Hello? That is income that you earn that is a profit or a return on investment or a salary. Then it will be taxed. Will tax authorities now monitor bank accounts of businesses more closely? Yes. They will now monitor you. They are now monitoring spirits. I hope you know that there is what they call skumulu. So now you have to now have that. And what that means is that every transaction in your business that is above, is it 5 million or 10 million, whatever, every week you have to be sending it to them in the FCC. Every week is a law. And in your company, you must have a compliance officer that is representing government. You will use your money to employ your class captain, and you'll be paying the person. So every company, you must have the school, then you must have a staff that you will be paying salary. Are you going to pay them? You will now introduce the staff to EFCC. Yeah, so in case you don't have it, go and settle it now. Except you want to remain poor. If you want to operate in hundreds of millions and billions, all this is no more negotiable. Then you will now say, okay, EFCC, this is the staff I have employed for compliance. Then they will now train that staff. That staff will now go for training with EFCC. Then they will now come, all the directors of the company, they will now train all of you too. Are you seeing why you have to be here for tax summit? It's no more business as usual. That's why we are doing it, so that it should not be next week. Pastor, pray. Pastor, we are telling you now. Those of you that are arguing with tithe and offering, God don't catch you now. Go they argue with tax. So yes, it will be easier for the authorities to track compliance But again, your bank balance will not be taxed. Profit and income are what will be taxed. Number 7, will I pay tax on the loan I borrow from Fair Money or any lender? You know yourself. That one that they will now be calling everybody, sending text to people. No, loans are not taxable, given that they are not income. However, the interest income earned by Fair Money will be taxed at their own hands. So if you go and borrow money now, that money you borrowed, even though it came to you like an income, it is not considered an income because it is a loan. But now the person giving you the loan, if the person collects interest from you, they will now pay tax on the interest they collected from you. But the question is, how will we know that the money that came to you is a loan? Are you seeing where record comes in? So, sorry, I'm in 2 million, man. Hey, yeah, 2 million, just send me 2 million, just borrow me 2 million. And then the person now sent 2 million to you and he didn't write loan there. He now sent 2 million as discussed. What were we discussing? And they are now trying to tell them that it's loan. What is the document that backs up the loan? So if someone is giving you a loan and it is not a statutory or organizational or loan from any, it's maybe one-on-one, have a document. It can even be WhatsApp, you print it out, you file it with the dates. Number 8, I run a one-man business. Do I pay personal income tax or company income tax? We are going deeper now. Now listen, if registered as an enterprise, business name, you will pay personal income tax. If registered as a limited liability company, then you pay company income tax. Now what's the difference? Now listen, when you want to register a business in Nigeria, you can go and do what we call registration of business name. When you do registration of business name, it is cheaper. That registration of business name makes you to do business legally with that name. But there are advantages and disadvantages. Now, one of the disadvantages of the registration of business name is that that business and you are still like the same person. So that is why you pay personal income tax. If that business gets into trouble, you are in trouble. If that business has liability, the liability is on you. But now if you do incorporated, you register your business as a limited liability company, that company is an entity. You are an entity. If that company is owing, you are not owing. Nobody can come and meet you that you are owing them money because it is the company that he is owing. So for that one, you can earn from that company and do payee. Or you earn from the company and do personal assessments. But that company will now pay company income tax, not you. And if that company does not make profit, the company will not pay tax. So if there's no income, there's no tax. So that's why you have profit before tax, profit after tax. You have gross profit, you have net profit. All these are things that you can now understand if you're a business person. Now, number 9, if I sell shares and make profit, will I pay tax in 2026? No. As long as the shares you sold are not more than 150 million in value. These are part of the good aspect of it. It's a very good law if you study very well. So this one now, if you sell all your shares, as long as you have not made 150 million, you are not paying any tax. It's free money. So you see now, this is why it will be good for you to begin to consider stockbroking now, to start buying shares, buying shares, buying shares, buying shares. Because any money you are using to buy shares now, when you are getting your money back, as long as the shares you sold is less than 150 million, is tax-free. And the gain is not above 10 million. You know that the money you sold is 150, no tax. But if they now look at how much did you gain, if the gain you made is not more than 10 million, no tax. But anything above that 10 million, they will tax you. So that's, however, if it is higher than this threshold, the gain becomes taxable. So what that means is, if for instance now you sold now 150 million, you are not paying taxes. But if inside that 150 million, maybe when you bought the shares, it was 142, and now it's 150, you have only made a profit of 8 million, no tax. But if when you sold it, and when you bought it was 110, and now it's 150, you know you have made a profit of 40 million. So you will now remove 10 million. Then the remaining 30, you will now be taxed on it. Do you understand now? So those are the reasons why you need a tax consultant. So those of you that are accountants, that are tax professional, a new